everybody, this is Chuck, and thank you for stopping by my shop. This is going to be a product review. So this is going to be a quick review on this unit. A little background on myself. I'm not a licensed welder or certified welder. I've been welding since I've been in my 20s. I've actually gone to night school for welding, but by far I'm not a professional. But we're going to give this machine a try. Let me flip this around. On this back information here, it's it weighs 75 kgs. It's not a big unit here. It's 110 volt or 220 volt AC. It'll run at 200 amps at 60% rate, and it also has a TIG option. I don't think the TIG option is in this box. And it's set up that it'll use 7018, 6010, 6011, or 6013. The max thickness at 1/8 inch at 100 is at 110 volts, and 13/64, which is just under 1/4 inch at 220 volts. We'll start off and hook it up to the 110 and see what we get, and let's move on with this as quick as we can. Real quick, starting with the unboxing, it does come with a user's manual. We'll get into that, see if there's something in there. It comes with a chipping brush and a wire brush. That leaves a lot to be desired. And it does come with gloves. And interesting, when I opened it up, I saw only 4 fingers. I went, oh, what the heck's this? But the thumb is folded in. Not high quality gloves by any means. I guess if you have no gloves, they're better than nothing on your hands. Okay, here's the unit unboxed. Okay, it comes with the handhold welding helmet. I guess you bend it and fold it together, but this is no different than the gloves. If you don't have anything, it's something. I went out and looked through it at the sun, and it is very, very dark lens. But if you have a welding helmet, you're not going to be using this. And if you have the welding gloves, you're not going to be using those. And if you have a good wire brush, you're not going to be using that. Enough said about that. Welding cables. They're flexible. The ground clamp's real nice. The wire's nice and flexible. I'll give it that. And the grip on the welding rod seems good. Small handle, but a nice little unit there. These seem pretty good. The unit itself, when TIG adaptable, is basically you need the TIG torch head, which also carries the gas. It's in the manual here. I don't have that, so we will not be doing any TIG demonstration. And I think you can see it right here where it has the adapter is built with the torch for the gas. 110 or 220 volt. The plug that comes is a regular household 110 plug, so I'd have to make an adapter to go to 220. So we'll start off with 110 volt and see how she welds. Okay, back. It's unboxed. I've got it plugged in to a 110 volt circuit, 20 amp breaker on it, on a 12 gauge extension cord. Be a typical homeowner use. Got the cables plugged in. They plugged in fine. Ground clamp, you can see, is on my bench. This is an 1.25 inch bench, so the ground clamp opens up quite a ways. Let's turn it on just to see what happens. So a fan came on, says we got power, and current setting is at 195 amps. There's 197 amps, and you can turn it down. Fan keeps running. Flip it off. Fan sounds like it's got a cool down cycle. Yep. All right. Let's get a welding rod in it and give it a shot. Okay, real quick, just for comparison, I mean, that's a good wire brush for welding, your chipping hammer, and a pair of actual heavy-duty welding gloves. And I'll get my helmet on, and then we'll give it a go. We'll fire it up here. Got a piece of 1/8 inch plate here, a little sample. And we got spark. You got heat. She's putting out some heat. I'm gonna leave it at the current setting. Leave it at the current setting. I got 2 pieces of 1/8 inch now. We'll do a little butt joint there. Well, one thing I noticed, the smaller welding rod that I chose, it's just smoking that guy up real quick. At that amperage. Let's try it again. We'll go for it over on this side. Okay, this is the same welding rod, but the first one was a 90 thousandths rod, and this is a 160 thousandths rod. Let's see how this performs. So the unit just powered off. And that was about 2 inches of welding there. So it popped my circuit breaker. On a 20 amp circuit breaker at full weld there. Well, just looking at it, we got a little bit of a bead going there that looked halfway decent. The rest of it just looks like a seagull came here and pooped. I don't know. I know part of it is me. I haven't. I got to be honest. Haven't arc welded in some years since I have MIG and TIG. But let's clean up and we'll try another one. Okay, we'll bring you up to date here. As I mentioned in the start here, been welding a long time. Haven't used an arc welder in 15 years. So, lots of mess here. some burn throughs. I went with some thinner material to try to see how it would work. At the 110 volt, with the amperage turned up, I would basically get about 2 inches of weld, and I would actually pop the house circuit, not the welder itself. So, starting to remember skills, went back, started running lines, and got some good welds here. And this machine can weld. I'm somewhat impressed with it. Going to go ahead and run some beads now. I've got it set up for 220. I just made an adapter myself, and we'll fire it up on 220, and we'll run some beads in the 220, see how it does. Definitely better not pop a circuit. We'll see though. Well, there's a inside corner weld at 200 amps on, what is this material? That's a 1/4 inch to 5/16. So let's break my Siegel crap weld there. My skills really need to be honed together. Looks like it's stuck. Well, this old man can't get it to bend. So let's finish up on this video. So to finish up on this video, I just want to say I would say this little unit can weld better than me, both at the 110 volt and at the 220 volt. Seems to be a very good machine. I wish it wouldn't pop my 20 amp circuit, but that's the house wiring that's causing that. I don't think it's the machine. I was having difficulty arc welding because all I've been doing is TIG welding and MIG welding. TIG welding and MIG welding, you keep your depth away from the material the same, where arc welding, of course, the rod is being consumed and you got to continue to feed the rod. Just out of natural conditions, I kept holding my hand steady and not feeding the rod, and that took a little bit of muscle memory to get back. So really, it all comes down to helmet time. Practice, practice, practice. But I'll say this little guy can weld. Thanks for stopping by the channel, and we'll see you on the next video.